Hey everyone, welcome back to the Camber F1 channel. Thanks everyone so much for the support we found on episode 2 of Camber My Team. I really appreciate it. 500 views is a goal that we really could not achieve about 2 or 3 months ago. So, you know, the fact that we're hitting that kind of casually now, that says a lot. So keep supporting the channel, keep pushing us to make more videos, because your support is what makes me want to sit at 2 AM in the morning editing these so that you guys can watch this the following morning. Alright, so without further ado, let's have a wee look and see what we've got in store for today. So it is the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, also more commonly known as Imola. Big news sort of coming into the garage here, more like the factory, is that we have got a number of failures on the development package that we were bringing to today's race, which kind of confidence is a bit low in the team, let's say, you know, just for this weekend as a whole. A lot of the upgrades that we wanted to bring to sort of continue the success we had in Bahrain have just completely failed. So it's kind of the exact same car we've brought from Bahrain, and that's not really done us any favors. But we're remaining optimistic. It is a sprint weekend, so we will have a sprint race and a feature race. So while qualifying today does matter, if we mess up, we still have a chance to redeem ourselves in tomorrow's race. And just like that, even if we have a really good qualifying today, we could still lose it all tomorrow. So what kind of combination are we going to get? We're going to find out in just a few minutes. But this is my first quali run. As you can see, we're doing quite well actually, but if you notice the battery, we are very low, and that was an error on my part. I forgot to turn it off on the outlap, and as a result, we're not that far. We're quite, how do I say this? We are kind of far off the pace, but we're not as bad as we thought we'd be. Still ahead of Jehan Dervala, but we're behind both the Audis. And me personally, I want to try beat the Audis. That has always been the goal since joining. It's just to beat Audi, to overshadow the fact that they have joined Formula 1. It's not them who've joined Formula 1. They had that plan of joining Formula 1, but Caterham is a team that wants the spotlight of 2026's successful team. So beating Audi has always been the goal for us here at Caterham. So to qualify ahead of them is the goal for today. And we're looking at and seeing if we can try improve on a P18 we've currently got. We qualified P17 last weekend at Bahrain. Can we qualify any higher this weekend? It is going to be P17 again. So it seems like our car kind of likes that plaque. P17 was something that I was really hoping not to get, but it looks like we've got it on our name again. But what was more surprising is that Pierre Gasly has somehow managed to out-qualify both Lando Norris and Fernando Alonso, two people who were looking really strong and had terrifying pace ahead of today's Grand Prix. Well, not today, this weekend's Grand Prix. It's honestly amazing, because the Benetton Alpine is a car that does not have the pace to be up there. And I'm thinking something has gone a wee bit in favour for Gasly, be it track conditions or traffic for his other competitors. But while it's going to be an absolute field day for him and Max and Daniel, by the way, who have improved from their dismal qualifying performances from last weekend, it's going to be a bit of a pickup recovery job for us. And so here we have the formation lap for today's sprint race. I have just cropped out a bunch of the introductory cutscenes and that, just so we can get this episode flowing, and so it's short enough for you boys to watch, boys and girls, sorry. And yeah, I'm really excited to see if we can improve in today's sprint race. That is the goal. We're starting from P17, so we need to make sure we can make some ground, because otherwise it's going to be a lot harder to get positions in the main race. We've been given this opportunity, so let's make the most of it, as it is 5 red lights here at Imola for the sprint race, and it looks like we've gotten a good start. But someone who's got an even better start than us is Guan Yu Zhou. We're going to have to see if we can cover him off, and we're going to follow Schumacher's slipstream through into turn 1. We're going to see if we can dive, but I feel like we're going to make some contact, and we have to go a wee bit off track, if you can even call that a wee bit. Luckily, we don't make any positions up. I give up any advantage we have already, so I wouldn't count that as a penalty. We've actually lost the position to the Haas of Guan Yu Zhou, and Stroll is diving his nose down to see if he can make a move. He's diving it twice. That absolutely caught me off guard, but we're going to see if we can just send it around both Zhou, and if we can maybe get Latifi in the BMW as well. But I'm not looking too sure, but it looks like we've just managed to get the pace because of our ERS deployment, and we're going to see if we can just choke him off. He has to back out of the corner, And we're back into P17 where we started. We're going to see if we can make a move on Schumacher as well in the Audi. Like I said, they are the target for the season. And let's have a look at the start while that's going on. It looks like Pierre Gasly got a good start. But then Norris? I can't even speak. Lando Norris, who has an absolute sender round the outside and manages to get first place. So that is absolutely amazing. If you just look at the dedication he held in the car when he went for that move, that was unbelievable. The back end would slip out quite a lot if you were to kind of recreate that move in the Caterham, so which is why I'm kind of wincing at the thought of trying to pull off something similar. But, you know, hopefully in a few races we can have the confidence in the car that we are lacking at the moment. Currently got Bottas in our sights at the moment. We're going to see if we can go for a move on him. And he's gonna have to back out a wee bit. I gotta applaud him for that. You know, he's wary of us, but then he's gonna try get us back on lap 2 of the sprint. And ahead of us is Charles Leclerc, who the last winner, the championship leader, who has gone off. He's tried to overtake one of the Porsche cars, and he's just sent it into the gravel trap. So, goodness me, that is a very uncharacter-esque error from the Monegasque, but we're gonna obviously use that to advantage. We're now up into P14 because of that issue. And now looking ahead, it looks like one of the Mercedes cars is creating a bit of a bus. We'll create a bit of a train, a DRS train that we're sort of seeing here. So we're gonna use it to good effect. Our battery's quite low anyway, so using the slipstream, we're gonna go slide past Magnussen in the Ryanair Haas and go up into P13. It's been an amazing race for us so far. And there's another yellow flag ahead, and it's Sebastian Vettel. No! Sebastian Vettel, what's he done? He's tried to go for a move on one of the Porsches, and he's just spun it! He's just spun it, his character-esque Spinola that was memed on, and also our teammate Jehan Duravala, who's gone off. He's been punted off by Stroll, and similar to Charles Leclerc, he has just completely messed it up, and he's just been pushed off track, and he's lost all the positions. Now dead last. He's going to try see if he can make up some positions. That is what we do not want to see in the sprint race. We're up in P12. Any mistakes that can throw us off our course at the moment can be devastating for the feature race. So we're going to have to try and see if we can make any moves. And here we have Yuki Tsunoda just up ahead of the road of us. He's going to try see if he can make a move on Esteban Ocon. He's on the outside, moves into the inside, and he blocks the brakes. And just like Jehan Duravala and just like Charles Leclerc, he's gone off, and now we're coming up to that now, and the cars ahead of us are just a wee bit confused by what happened. They all slow down. They don't know what's going to happen. I tried to see if we can benefit from this. We see Russell go into the gravel. Can we slide around the outside? No. Russell positions his car perfectly, which means that we cannot put the car ahead of the Aston Martin until this corner here, one of my favourite corners. We squeeze the car through the inside line. It is not enough though. Russell has got insane straight line speed, and he's going to edge out ahead of us, and that's left us susceptible to Bottas, who's going to force us off track. We have to go a wee bit off track just to give him enough space to work with, and we've lost the advantage we built up. But looking ahead now, Sergio Perez, who is a bit confused by Russell's moves. He's a bit startled, and we're going to use that to try slip past him as well. I thought we had the move done at first, but no. He's managed to get ahead of us again, and now we're going to try to see if we can dive down the inside again on this corner. I thought we'd be successful, but no. Our right front tire makes contact with his rear left, and that lets Bottas again tries the same move again, and he gets ahead of us. And ow! What's happened there? We've been punted off. But it looks like a Ryanair Haas. We need to get that on the replay. Thankfully, looks like we've got no damage. As a BMW of Latifi tries to make a move on us, we've been absolutely shafted. What's happened there? If we look to see, Magnussen's locked the brakes. He goes into the side of us, pushes me off the track. Thankfully, we're in one piece and we can keep going. But my goodness, that was absolutely startling. We're on lap 9 of 11. We've still got, give or take, 3 laps to see if we can make a move. On lap 10, we're starting to pick up the pace, and we're looking to see if we can make a move on Schumacher. We need to get ahead of at least one Audi in this Grand Prix, in this sprint race. We give him plenty of space to work with, dart around the outside, and now we're ahead into P15. You see, even if we finish in this position, it will be good. We'll have made positions down into turn 1 of the final lap, and oh my goodness, what's happened? What's happened there? We've been punted off again. We weren't even given space to breathe. Let's go on board with Mick Schumacher. He comes into that corner in a very aggressive state, does not brake in time, and hits us off the track, sending us into a spin, completely ruining our sprint race. And that definitely means we're going to be starting from the back of the grid in what looked like an amazing performance after that contact with Magnussen. Here from Tsunoda's on board, as you can clearly see, I've just been shafted, and Mick gets a wee bit of contact because our car rolls into the side of him. But oh my days, it is absolutely devastating. And now we've got to hold back Stroll and Diabolical heading into the final few corners. I'll tell you someone who isn't having a bad time though, and that's Lando Norris, who in a dramatic turn of events has managed to get past Pierre Gasly, the favourite for today's sprint race, and wins for Red Bull, his first ever win for Red Bull Racing. Finally something that he was struggling to achieve with McLaren, so I'm really happy for him as we come round in P19, losing 2 positions off of our qualifying position. On paper, that's not a bad finish, but oh my days, that was arguably a P13 that just slipped out of our hands there, and we could have really used that to build on the feature race. Yeah, it's gutting, but you know, it's not the end of the day. That's what the sprint race is for, that's what the feature race is for. Let's see if we can improve for tomorrow.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Fernando Alonso alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Gasly, Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Ocon, Russell, Perez, Bottas and Charles Leclerc, Joe, Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo and Mick Schumacher, Tsunoda, Latifi, Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. They've taken a grid penalty. The owner driver, Stroll, Diabolical and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box, and it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the rundown into turn 1, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
So building on what I was just talking about, we've got a lot of ground to pick up on, a lot of fast drivers behind us as well, so let's see if we can capitalise off any chaos. On the first lap, it's lights out and away we go for the main event at Imola. We've got an amazing start this time, but we've got the Aston Martin of Stroll beside us. We remember what happened last time here in the sprint, so we're going to dive down the inside. Perfect move, perfect timing, but we get pushed off a wee bit by the Alpha Tauri of Sainz. That could have been a bit devastating, but thankfully we keep it on the track. We've got a number of cars slow into the entry of this corner here, so we're going to see if we can dart down the inside again, taking I think that's a position on the BMW. No, he's still there. Latifi's still there. We're going to have to outpace him a wee bit. We tend to have a wee bit of easier engine power on this compared to the BMW, so we dart around there. We managed to make the move stick. And now, once again, we've got Schumacher ahead of us. And I immediately see to it that I clear the young German, because I do not want to be involved with that man ever again. He completely ruined the sprint race for us. And we're going to try see if we can make a move on Tsunoda as well. We do not leave him enough room. I was looking back at it now. That was quite a dirty move. We didn't leave him much like room to work with at all. And he kind of repays the favour by overtaking us on the start of lap 3. I didn't want to fight him, but you will not believe who was in the gravel trap on lap 3. It is Charles Leclerc again, in the exact same fashion. He's been pushed off by Bottas a bit this time, so it's not really his fault for the brakes. But oh my goodness, he's going to be absolutely fuming in that Ferrari cockpit. Not even in the game will things go well for him. Our championship leader, who's now pretty much at the back of the pack. So now we've got Leclerc and we've got Vettel to look out for in today's race. We make a bit of a mistake heading into that corner. I was just a wee bit too focused on Tsunoda's line and not my own. And now Schumacher is looking to see if he can make a move. It is quite heated between me and him at this point. And he's going to try to see if he can go for a move this time. We don't leave him enough space. but I was kind of like holding that line off, and then I dart to the left to defend the inside line, but he has the engine power. We make a wee bit of contact going into that corner there, and we're going to try see if we can get the repercussions, but Leclerc is now going to try see if we can go down the inside, and we have to just stick around the outside using the exit speed. And now, lap 8 of 32, we're going to try see if we can make a move on Mick. I do not want to stick behind this guy for any longer. He gives me bad memories. We're going to do the switcheroo, and we're going to send it down the inside, giving the good old fake, and we've managed to get ahead of him. Lap 10, Leclerc's now got past Schumacher, so now he's unleashed the Scuderia, and I make a mistake heading into that corner, so I defend the inside line. He's going to send it around the outside, but he's left a wee bit of a gap open, which I'm going to try slot my car into, and here we come up to the hairpin. Is he going to see the position? No, he's not. He's Charles Leclerc. He's going to see if he can hang it around just a wee bit around the inside. It's a Caterham versus a Ferrari. The PR is going to go absolutely insane. We need to win this mini battle just for now. If we're going to make the position, he jolts the car out a wee bit to the right, and I have to take evasive action and go onto the outside, onto the rumble strip, and we just managed to keep the car ahead of him. Fighting on the corners is my specialty, but on the straights, we are a sitting duck. This car does not have anywhere near the engine speed to compete with these people. We have the worst power unit on the grids. So Leclerc cruises away in absolute style, but only for a little bit, as on lap 12 you can notice we're starting to see a bit of a train get formed by once again a Mercedes car. The Mercedes car of Daniel Ricciardo. It seems to be that he just loves starting DRS trains, and now as you can see, this is impacting me and Leclerc as Magnussen goes for a wee bit of bumper cars. Look on this replay and you can see how much has just held up me and Leclerc. So oh my days, man, it's all going down. We've got an insane DRS train, and even for a slow car like me, this is starting to ruin our race because we want to see if we can make positions, but the time being lost from braking earlier to avoid crashing into the car ahead, it's costing us a lot of positions and a lot of time. So I try to see if we can hold it around for just a few more laps, just to see if we can follow our strategy, but it's just started to look really dire, and eventually I dart into the pits because we're just losing a wee bit too much time. Schumacher shoots past, so we need to make sure that our outlap is going to be really good, because we need to make sure we can get ahead. These hard tires are quite hard to warm up, so let's see. We escape. It's a good pit stop this time. The last time we had a pit stop with the boys, we ran into a couple of errors, you know. We had that tire, it was quite hard to put on the car, and therefore we had a bit of a mishap, but this time they had good delivery on all 4 tires, so we're going to see if we can keep it going. But as you guys can clearly see, this tire is absolutely insane. We can't warm it up in time. We're slipping and sliding all over the place, and Guan Yu Zhou uses that as an opportunity to slide past, and this is exactly what I did not want. We're costing time. We need to be making sure we're making time on this outlap. Just a few skirmishes with any of the cars on their outlap is going to cost you around 2 to 3 seconds, and that's evident on the start of lap 16. As you can clearly see, ahead of us, we've managed to get past Magnussen, but Schumacher has jumped us, and once again we're going to have to see if we can jump the young German for about the 3rd or 4th time. And it's not even easy because we've got Magnussen who's already tried to launch a move down the inside. He fails, hits me. Thankfully it's minimal contact, but that contact is enough to send him behind his teammate Guan Yu Zhou. Oh, it's all going down. But anyway, the end of lap 16, we've got good DRS, we've got plenty of battery, and once again I am trying to see if we can make a move on the man who ended our sprint race yesterday. There's already a bit of bad blood between us. No apologies in the paddock after yesterday's incident, so we're going to try see if we can get the move done. And I'm trying to give him some space, but he darts into us. We nearly go off because I'm trying to give him space. I see his front wing slowly making its way towards my side pod, and I panic and just head a wee bit off the grass, into the grass. Thankfully it's only 2 wheels, so it won't be a track violation. But we seem to be fine. As there we have Schumacher on the start of lap 18. He's trying to see if he can make a move, but I just managed to keep the car ahead of him. It's honestly, this race, we're fighting for nothing in this race, but it's more intense than yesterday's and than last week's race. Because last week's race, we were guaranteed points no matter what, unless we crashed or something. But in this race, it seems to be all going down for just a measly P15. Anyway, we finally managed to pick up the pace. We're catching up to Latifi. He gives us DRS as he darts into the pits. And now, my mind is shifted from one Audi car to another Audi car with a certain Finnish driver in it, Valtteri Bottas. This man, I can trust this man with my drink, if that makes sense. I can launch a move on him, and I know he'll keep it clean. And I see yellow flags behind me. Speaking of clean, we've got Mick Schumacher, and he's gone into the gravel trap. I felt bad for people who went into the gravel trap, but for him, I'm just laughing now, mate. Like, that's what you get. Anyway, we're starting to gain a wee bit on Valtteri Bottas now, as you can clearly see. 0.5 seconds is what separates me and the Finnish driver, and we're gonna see if we can launch a move. I'm now pushing absolutely insane. I don't know if it's very evident, but I'm starting to realize that if we don't get a move on, we're not gonna get anywhere near fighting for points. So I'm pushing now. I'm absolutely pushing the car to see if I can get this to points, or at least to fight for points, because then it means we at least had a chance, and it will be good for PR. We don't get Bottas into this move. He makes a wee bit of a mistake. I'm gonna try see if we can get better exit speed. I lose it, and we're into the wall. Is it severe damage? Yes, it is. And just like that, in a blink, our race is over. Oh man, it's just not gone the way I wanted it to go at all. It's completely backfired on us, man. I just thought we could carry a wee bit of extra exit speed, and it's completely sent us into the wall. Oh, that's absolutely biblical, to quote a certain YouTuber. Oh my days, I'm absolutely gutted with that. This crash is going to be added to those montages of Caterham crashes now. We've completely let the team down. We've kind of tarnished the name of the brand, and we can only walk into the garage with shame. It is an absolutely horrible weekend.
And I'm sure there'll be celebrations tonight. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win.
So Lando Norris wins in spectacular fashion after finishing P3 in Bahrain. He's won the race today, and can I just say, Yuki Tsunoda, man, we were racing him at the start. He's managed to make it to the podium. That is the potential that Red Bull see in their young Japanese driver, and that is the potential that they see in their young Brit, the new star of Red Bull. It's a 1-3 for Red Bull. Alonso once again sneaking onto the podium there. Oh my days, man, it's all gone down today, as Pierre Gasly leaves with 25 points to his name. That's actually quite good. You know, he got a podium in the sprint, so I was thinking Alpine would be good, like, you know, opponents for us, but obviously with that performance, they're completely out of the picture for us. The Porsche is performing well today. Ricciardo doing an amazing job today, and now it's Vettel's turn to have an absolute gutter of a race. It's only like it's like one Mercedes car can perform well in each race. But anyway, that's going to round it up for today's Grand Prix. Obviously, I'm very gutted with that performance. We still remain in the top 10 of the driver standings, and we still remain P6 in the constructor standings. So, on a sort of paper perspective, we're doing really well. But that race has definitely hit the team morale. It's been an insane reality check after what was an amazing race at Bahrain. And that is going to end it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry if my commentary was a bit dead. It is literally 2 AM in the morning. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.